I think that it probably all started for me when I was actually doing more of the management consulting work. That was kind of early in my career. I was working in healthcare across different kinds of M&A activity for different kinds of health systems, and one of them was ambulatory surgery centers. And I started getting into what these, companies were actually doing for patients. And I just found it insanely interesting. I think specifically we were learning about how cataract surgery worked. And I remember that was my first introduction to the deep science of it all, and learning the details of why these different machines were so advanced and expensive, and what they actually did that made them so unique. I was really blown away just by what science could do to fix someone's cataract. I'd say our problem is a fewfold. First off, target oncology isn't accessible enough, right? Target oncology is the promise of better treatments for cancer that's going to give patients way more options for overcoming the probably worst disease that we categorize with morbidity in this country, but also the terrible treatment experience. So we need better treatments that are actually going to help patients without destroying all of the healthy tissues involved with them. So Alnair is avoiding healthy tissues and creating a higher efficacy treatment for cancer patients that's targeted and getting to more patients. So that's basically our goal. I think it was probably seeing some of the early data. So I've had a relationship with the scientific founder, Xiaoyang Wu, world-renowned researcher at the University of Chicago. And he introduced me to this company that he invented alongside Aang. And we saw this unbelievable profile for how this nanoparticle platform that we're building performs extremely uniquely inside tumors. And target oncology has been such a hot area. I've been following it for so long that when I saw the ability to actually concentrate drug inside of tumors, which is very unique to our platform. ADCs are great, but they have penetration issues. It's well categorized. I got really excited. And then when you combine that with some of the early safety and efficacy profiles that we were seeing in the preclinical studies at the University of Chicago, it was kind of one of those things where I was, how can I get involved? How can I be a part of this? And luckily the team worked out that we got to launch together. Yeah, so we are the only company using our set of materials. So we have very novel nanoparticle type. We invented our lactate responsive gate, and where other nanoparticle-based companies that might have previously, or even ADCs that target lactate or lactic acid, they're targeting pH imbalances. But what we're actually targeting is the actual lactic acid itself, which creates a much more precise targeting mechanism. So that's one. And then additionally, unlike other target oncologies today, we aren't biologics. So we're not using antibodies or T cells or anything like that. It's all synthetic materials packed full of the drugs that are already proven to work. And we're just elevating their efficacy. We're increasing their safety. We're putting them back onto exclusivity, and we're being able to mass manufacture them in a scalable process. We're trying to simplify it all, right? We're using novel materials, futuristic, drug gating technology and whatever it may be, but we also want to make what we already have more accessible and better. So for us, our next step is continuing to prove out our safety and efficacy profile in our seed raise, which is upcoming, continuing to build out our scale and manufacturing so we can support more of that scale claim we're making, and then to get this into humans so that we can start testing and rapidly advancing this to the point where it is widely available. Just go for it. So many people have great ideas or, some kind of innovative new business idea, and there's always 1,000 reasons not to do it. What I would say is the hardest step is the first one. Once you start that process, build your first plan, get an idea of where you're trying to be, that's when the momentum starts to build. And don't be afraid of taking those first steps, because so many great ideas, as I'm sure Portal sees all the time, just die on the vine because no one's really willing to pursue them.